All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for watching another video. So tonight we're gonna have a look at some video footage that I took at an RV show out here, because I legitimately am still looking for a vehicle to start traveling in. And I know some people might not think of RVs as part of the overlanding community, but I think they are. They get a lot of people out there to explore the outdoors. So we're gonna have a look at them real quick, and I just have a real curiosity as to what are in these things, because I see my neighbors have them. They're traveling up and down the road, and I'd never been in these. So what we're gonna do is go through the video real quick, and I'll give you some impressions that I have of them and some run-ins that I've had with these. And at the ending of the video, I'll give you my general opinions on if I think they're worth it or not. So let's get started with the Class A's. These are the basic tour buses, right? So this one has a couple of slide outs. It's super big. These are your rock star type tour buses. Now, my first run in with one of these, and it really made me think about if it's worth having one of these, is when you get out there. I didn't think about that you have to park these in an RV park, because you can't take these in national parks. There's no parking spaces that can fit Class A's, well, at least most of them. And the second thing is, it's not so much where you're going to park it, but the maneuverability is very low. So at Death Valley, I was coming out and this guy was coming in a Class A, and I guess he missed the sign saying that if you're past a certain length, you cannot go in here. And that's a big deal, because the turn to get out is too tight. Like, he couldn't get out. So he ended up backing up traffic for hours. And if you try to get this vehicle that we're looking at into Sequoia National Park, forget about it. I don't even think um, the Rangers would let you in there. And I don't even know how he got the Class A in there in the first place. I'm surprised he didn't get stopped. But well, then again, Death Valley is, there's nothing out there. There's no Rangers for miles. So I'm not surprised he got in. But if he tried to go to Sequoia, the Rangers would be like, nope, you can't do it. So just consider that in the back of your mind. You're going to be spending a lot of time in RV parks putting your Class A there, and you'll probably be towing a smaller vehicle so you can kind of get where you want to go. But man, that guy really backed up traffic in there for a super long time. And I don't even know how they untangled it. Let's have a look in this Class A. Oh, yeah, it reminds you of grade school right there. Look at this. Okay, so this price tag, I think, was something like $800,000. And look at the gross trim up here. I know there's nobody from the 1970s that would still like this wooden trim at the top. And if you're dumping down, $800,000, you want to have something that at least looks a little bit more modern. That's just in my opinion. What it looks like to me is they redid the furniture and the flooring, but they just didn't bother to touch up the cabinetry, man. That's pretty bad. But look at how much space you have here. It is never ending. Let's keep going. All right. It's basically a full size kitchen, microwave. Everything is full size in here. Bed, full size shower, toilet. You even got backsplash tile on there. An incredible amount of storage. There's a full size refrigerator, and you can't see it, but there's air conditioning vents running through the entire thing. So those are the Class A's. Now, these are Class B's, camper vans. These came into real massive popularity, I think, during COVID. And this is where I think I wanted to start. I don't think I'd pay somebody or buy one from a manufacturer, because you're talking minimum maybe like 350, maybe $400,000. Now, the build quality on Class A's is questionable. These bigger companies, they just kind of bring people in. The materials that they use are not the best. They're trying to keep the cost down as much as possible. But here, Class Bs are built by smaller companies, so the quality control is a lot better. So if you want to invest in something with a higher build quality that's going to let you get out, to the rough terrain a little bit more, this would be it. But my plan was to keep the cost down to a minimum. Just buy an empty van, throw an air mattress in there with solar panels and a gas stove and a refrigerator, and just go for it. And maybe if I wanted to, slowly upgrade it as we go along. But this is a Sprinter van. Man, the builds are so good on these. Now, my first aha moment with one of these was when I did my first four-wheel camper video, and I was going into the Grand Tetons. I was following a Class B going up a mountain, fairly mild terrain, a little bit of rocks, and just cracking branches at the top. Now, one of the benefits of having one of these, of course, is it lets you stand up, right? You can move around. You don't have to worry about going outside. If it's raining, you can cook on the inside. But he was just nailing branches. And every time he hit something, I was just like, oh, it's so brutal. And the big thing for me is when he hit a rock, I could see how much tilt, the wobble he was going with. And I looked at the terrain that we were on, and I was in I think it was like a Ford F-150 or something. So I was pretty wide and pretty stout. But when I saw how much wobble was happening, and he had really decent suspension, I'm thinking, man, if you trick yourself in believing that you can go serious off-roading one of these, you're going to end up flipping over. And it doesn't really matter how big of a tire you put on these, you're still not getting the clearance that you're going to get with a truck. So I think kind of misleading, but I really like the build quality of one of these. And it does let you get out off-roading a little bit more than the Class Cs, as we're going to look at in a little bit. So you got your Sprinter vans, absolutely gorgeous. You know, Ram's got their ProMaster. That's what this is. Ford has Transit. Again, has a bathroom in the back with a shower. Look at this. It's kind of like a mini Class A. Same kind of long view down here, storage overhead bins here, air conditioner on the top. This couch probably flops over and opens up into a bed. Really good build quality. Beautiful sink. Love that faucet. Like the coloring of the countertop. Just really, really well done. Really well done. All right, these are the Class Cs. And so four-wheel campers and the hardtop campers are kind of a combination of something like this. You just have a massive living room in the back. This one, I think, has a slide out on the right. And the reason I keep mentioning slide outs is they give you more space, but it also gives you another weak point as your vehicle is moving around. It flexes and it bends and gives you another area where moisture can get in there. So it's really great to have. It's a great convenience. You also have to worry about the motor that's in there. So a little bit more higher cost on one of these. Let's have a look in this one. Love it. I love this Class C because I think it reminds me of the four-wheel campers. Tons of storage space, everything you need. And this one, I really do like what we're looking at here. I love the flooring. I love the color of the cabinetry. When you feel the cabinets, it felt different than the one that was in the Class A. I love the lighting. Nice little U-shaped dinette here on the right. I mean, this is great. Perfect for 2 or 3 people, pet. This is what I don't like. I don't know why people are still making double sinks. I know in the past you want to have one side for cleaning, one side for drying or whatever the hell it is, but just get one big sink because when you're trying to wash your dishes in a tiny sink, it is really frustrating. So that's one thing I didn't like about this one, but I love the countertop. Love the faucet there. I don't know if you guys saw the microwave, but there's a microwave in there. For the most part, I don't know. I mean, on the top of this one, there was a satellite along with the air conditioning vent. Now with the advent of Starlink, maybe you do want to have a TV in there. Maybe most of us are running tablets or we'll just watch it on our phones. Just another convenience in there. But you might be able to save on a little cost. Full-size bathroom. Look at that. Comfort. Again, beautiful cabinetry. There is a look going the other way. So this is from the back looking forward. You can see the air conditioning vent way over there on the top. Absolutely gorgeous. Love it. Here is a look at the kitchen. Look at that stove. Induction stove. I love this blue accent around the dials. Gas stove. Or is that the microwave down there? No, that's probably an oven. I don't know. And they give you a free cutting board. All right, getting into the trailers. Now, I have little to zero experience with trailers. And so you got fifth wheels, which is what we're going to start off with. And these are absolutely massive. They would be the equivalent of a Class A. And you have toy haulers where you can put your recreational vehicles in the back. And the other section is living space. And some of them are fancier than others, but they're absolutely massive. And the way that these work is they're so massive that they have this hitch right here that will attach into the center of your truck bed. So a couple of things with this. You have to make sure that whatever truck that you have, that the payload is high enough to support the down pressure of the fifth wheel on it. So it's not just the tow capacity, it's the payload, which a lot of people overlook because it locks into that hitch down in your bed. You also have things like leveling kits that regular tow trailers don't have. There's a look at the hitch there. And in general, just more more of everything, as we're going to see. I think this is a pretty basic one. So all of this stuff here is removable. You can see further down in the back there, this is where you can store all of your vehicles, and closer to us is where the living area is. Let's explore a little bit more down here. Okay, so there's the living quarters, super basic, just bed, nothing fancy. There's a look at your bathroom again. Dry bath, separate toilet, slide in the shower. Look at that kitchen. Look at the cabinetry and the flooring in here. That's beautiful refrigerator. And again, the build quality here starts to resemble more of a Class A, though. Little bit suspect. There's that big sink, though. This one has a fold-out balcony, right? When you want to fold up, this portion folds up, this portion folds down. But it does give you a little bit of balcony out here in case you're by a lake. Maybe you can kind of sit out there, enjoy the environment that you're in. Now, this is a fancier one. You saw the slide out there. Speakers on the outside. This one has independent suspension. I think that one did. Look at that kitchen. It's got an island in it. This door to the left is where you would go in to put all of your recreational vehicles. Man, that is gorgeous. And now we're starting to see a little bit higher quality in the bedroom. Massive storage closet space there, storage space over the bed. I really like this one. I think this one might have been like $500,000. These seats are all removable. So that door, when you go in here, you can take these out to put your, as I was mentioning, the recreational vehicles, ATVs, whatever. Look at that. Just gorgeous. Really easy to live in one of those. Look at the size of this one. This one was really nice. Look at this thing. Gas stove. Man. That's basically a Class A just in the trailer. Yep, there's more. We're going back the other way, right? There's look at the bathroom. And I think this is the one with the walk-in closet. There it is over there at the back. Now we're getting into the travel trailer. So instead of it being hooked into the center of the bed, this is something you just hook to the back of your truck or SUV. And for the most of us, maybe we do this, aluminum siding stuck to some wood, or there's the fiberglass stuck to aluminum frame. The old stick and tins available in a lot of different materials like that. But these are really good. These are a lot more affordable. All right. And that's how it will attach to your vehicle. It just hooks to the back. All right. Here's a little bit of aluminum. It's probably stuck on some wood. You also have like a fiberglass type of material that just gets stuck to some aluminum framing. Now, out of all the pull trailers I was in, the Airstream one seemed to be built the best. Like the design was really contemporary. The floor plans were nice, and the materials that they used were different. It just felt different. I love the look of these as well. I love the riveting on the outside. I love the panoramic windows in the front. Look at this. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. A little bit big for me, but if you got a big family, this is all you got. Right? There's not much else you can choose from. If you have a large family and you want to go traveling, you got to get a trailer. Gorgeous bathroom. Now, for me, this guy is perfect. If it was just lower in price, I would be interested in towing one of these along because that is perfect. Nice size bed in the back, wet bath right here. No big deal. Nice U-shaped dinette, plenty of storage, heater, air conditioning. Now we're starting to get into a little bit more travel trailers that are off-road capable. All right. You have independent suspension, better tires, and you can reach out a little bit more with one of these with a truck or a well-equipped SUV. See the heater here on the right, U-shaped dinette. There's a look at your wet bath. And this is all you need. Most of the time, you can get your cooking done outside and you need a microwave, small little stove. It's absolutely perfect. That size is good. Winnebago. Now we're getting into your pop-up kind of rugged trailers, and these are great. These will allow you, because they're more stable, right? They're not tall. They're not going to be flopping around. They're wider. You can tow them behind you. This can handle rough terrain. All the storage is underneath around the sides, and you have a pop-up tent like that. This one has a beautiful awning all the way around. Now, the only thing I don't like about pop-up tents in general is when it's windy, it's going to be tough to get a good night's sleep. When it's cold, you might have to run a heater up to it to keep you warm. And of course, at night, if you have to use the bathroom, you better pray to God you don't fall out of this thing when you're going up and down that ladder. But these are much more capable trailers. There's your little slide out for your refrigerator. Just fantastic designs with these. I think this one was made of fiberglass. So much space in these. Look at this one. It's got this open front. Kind of gives you the safari feel. Massive galley. This one was kind of cool too. I think this was the one with the collapsible shower. Look at the cabinetry there on the right. Yep. On the left here, when you fold this down, it collapses down right onto those doors, and that's where the bathroom is at. So you have a full stand-up shower. Yeah. Love it. Look at the galley on that one. Big bucks outdoor shower on this next one. Again, pop up. Really creative. Very, very creative. This one, I don't want to I wanted to get in this one because of that window in the front and the size also appealing. Again, U-shaped dinette turns into a bed. You just take out the table. Perfect size kitchen. Love the cabinetry color. And right there, the sink. Just one big sink, nice faucet. Enjoy the view as you're doing your dishes. Look at that. Mm-mm-mm. So that's the basic idea of recreational vehicles, right? You got class A, B, and C's, then you got your fifth wheels, and you have your travel trailers. Now, in general, these are wonderful, right? If you're going to go outdoors and you want the least amount of transition and having to adapt to being outdoors, your convenience is off the charts, right? You just get in it, plug and play, and you go. You're all set to go. So I like that aspect of it. However, it is very easy to fall in love with when you're standing in front of one of these like I was and you're looking in and you think, oh, this is so beautiful. I want to buy this without thinking of the return on investment. Right? You got to remind yourself these are ridiculously expensive. If you average it out, maybe like $500,000 between class A's and a relatively kind of stripped down class B. So let's say for this example, we're talking about $500,000. You can buy them used for less. You better know what you're doing, how to inspect it. But let's just say for this example, we'll do $500,000, $500,000, right? So you have the ultimate convenience, $500,000. What is your return on investment? The first thing you got to ask yourself is how many times are you going to use it? And you better be realistic about it, right? Be honest. How often are we going to use this? Oh, we're going to use it 4 times a year. Oh, 2 times a year or whatever. Okay. So now you take into account $500,000. How many times you're going to use it? Is it worth it? Some people are going to be, yeah, I'll drop half a mil and use it maybe once or twice a year. That's fine. But that's something you have to think about. And, your work life, your kids' life, school, all that stuff, calculate that, first of all, into that return on investment. All right. The second thing is that $500,000 is not just the cost of the vehicle, whatever you're buying, right? That's how much it costs to get it. But there's a lot of more back end maintenance that you have to think about. So you got to think about stuff like not only the maintenance of the vehicle portion of it, right? The oil changes and all the stuff like that, but you have the living spaces to consider, right? You're looking for leaks, repairing your leaks. If there is a leak, if there's mold in it, your appliances, your heater, if you have a washing machine in there, your refrigerator, all of that stuff, your air conditioning, they break down. Those are expensive items. Those are all things you got to think about with the maintenance of your vehicles. And if something does break, you didn't build it, odds are you're not going to know how to fix it. You're going to spend a lot of time looking at a schematic, figuring out where all the wiring and the plumbing is. Even if you are handy, it's a lot of time and frustration that you're going to have to deal with, or paying somebody else to do it, or trying to get it covered by a warranty, which is a nightmare. I'm going to cover that at the end of the video, warranties. Um, Also consider storage. Where are you going to put this thing? A lot of new homes have a place where you can store an RV. Then you got to worry about your HOA. And, for me, I don't know if you guys have ever had a large object sitting in a room and then, you move it, you get rid of it. And now you have all this void, this wonderful amount of space. So a lot of my neighbors that I'm around, they have these massive class A's and decent sized travel trailers, and they're just sitting there. And I think about all the space that they could be saving if it wasn't moving around. And some of them haven't moved 4 or 5 years. They haven't moved. So think about that. Like, where are you going to store this thing? If you want to store it off property, you got to pay for storage, at a storage facility. So that's something else you got to worry about. Also think about all of their camp gear that you have to purchase on top of that, and all the other accessories that you might want to buy for your RV. That all piles on top of there too. Also consider if you're doing something like a class A, you're going to have to tow a second vehicle to get where you want to go. So that adds on to the cost there for that if you want to do that. Or if you get a fifth wheel, your truck has to be stout enough to tow that fifth wheel, or even legitimately a regular travel trailer. So now the costs can kind of go back and forth between, what you're thinking and how high it can get. Also consider RV parks. That can be a pain in itself. So the Yosemite trip, I witnessed a gentleman that took an hour to park his trailer into a relatively large stall. and he was having trouble. So then I started thinking to myself, if you have a larger trailer and you have booked an RV park, what if your neighbors have parked in a way that you can't get in and they're out exploring? What if you get into camp late, not by your fault, but you can't see where you're going to park? A lot of unknowns when you're dealing with RV parks. So I don't think for me that would be a thing that I would enjoy, but that's something also to consider. Now, knowing all of that stuff, right? The maintenance costs, um, what it's going to kind of put you into inconvenience about buying other things for it. You kind of think to yourself, okay, I have high cost, right? Your maintenance is high, the cost of vehicle is high, your build quality is low, so low, and the durability is low. So now you bring back that return on investment. $500,000, high convenience. You can just go on and start traveling. Is it worth it now to have to deal with all of those other things? Because now your $500,000 is getting higher and higher, and people aren't good at maintenance. Okay, just be honest with yourself. If you can't change your own oil, or if you're not willing to change your own oil, you're not going to be willing to maintain an RV. So think about that. Now, a couple of ways you can buy it, right? You can buy them new, you can buy them used. And as mentioned before, if you're going to buy one used, you better know what you're looking for. If you're going to buy one new, I heavily recommend stopping by Steve Leto's channel. He's a lawyer that helps, well, he used to help people recover warranties from manufacturers. Now, the one video that I did watch him kind of tell this nightmare story about this couple that bought a Class B. I think they spent like $90,000 on it. It broke down about a week after they traveled, and they signed a contract with a large RV corporation or reseller, like a dealer. And apparently, when they signed it, they released the dealer from any type of liability. So they couldn't go after the dealer. And then in that same contract, it also said that if you want to go and sue or recover whatever warranty, well, I think it was sue. If you want to sue the manufacturer, you have to go to the state that they're incorporated with, or they can choose whatever state that they want to, have their case heard in. So if you're going to buy it new, read the contract, because there's a lot of people doing really shady stuff like that. So again, the guy's name is Steve Leto. Now, overall, do I think it's worth it? Yeah, I think they're wonderful. They give everybody an opportunity just to get out there and go for it. It's going to depend on what you think your return on investment is. Now, for me, I don't like it. I think it's just too expensive, too much trouble, and too limiting for the places that I want to go. I want to be able to go off-road and not have to worry about where to park my RV or anything like that. So to me, not worth it. For you, maybe it is. I think I'm going to pass on the RV sector for now. But again, I understand that people have large families, and this is probably the only really good option you have to take pets and large families around. But I hope that helps out, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give it the thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next video.